You're such a
We
dick.
forgive you.
Anyway, welcome everyone to the Cinebeard's top 10 movies of 2020.
Hi.
Whoa, whoa, what the fuck's happening?
listeners! We're saying hello
I
to the viewers.
I bogarted your introduction,
You
Jason.
bogarted your Bogart.
Damn it. He did. And then he
Why does the
vaped.
introduction
He's
sound
so
so
cool.
tight and focused this week?
I
Holy
am
shit.
cool.
We really stepped it up.
Yeah, let's step it back down, please. This is
Wait,
way too
let's
much
take about
pressure.
20% off
I
there,
think we
please.
should take a 5-week break after this.
Yeah, no, we've
Just
earned it.
reset
You
it
know, we've
quickly.
really been putting in the effort and work.
Yeah.
Man, when we get back to Ghost of
listen to that with a
Tsushima,
straight face.
we're gonna be so rusty when we get back to that goddamn raid.
What are you
Oh my
talking about? We're
God.
playing Monster Hunter next time.
Oh, the
Yeah.
tie-in game for that movie. Awesome.
Dion, I swear to fucking
Yo,
God.
Dion, no. No.
So, just like last week, point system, everything, blah, blah, blah. If you don't know how it works, listen to the bad episodes one from yesterday.
Good callback.
Good callback.
Amazing.
And
It's for,
good
and,
luck.
luck.
Last
and
week.
it's for last week, Marcus. We discussed this, and
Oh.
a unanimous vote was carried. We
Yeah,
voted
you
for
were
you in
peeing at that
absentia.
time.
Oh yeah, you missed the exciting news, but we'll have to tell you afterwards.
What exciting news.
I
we
said
tell
we'll
you
have to tell you
afterwards.
afterwards.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll just live in the dark.
I mean,
then.
apparently the exciting news is you're not good at listening.
It's pretty exciting. I'm excited
All right, so
because
tell
it
us
means
the
I
top
can
10,
break
Marcus.
into
Quick,
Marcus's house and he'll
just
never
rattle
know.
them off.
So, we'll start off with a couple of honorable mentions as well. We should.
Honorable mention.
And this should give you an idea of how tough it was for a
An
movie to make it
ideon.
into the top 10. And
All right.
also, the fun factoid I mentioned last time, I'm now
Mhm,
saying
mhm.
last time because I don't know if it was yesterday or last week or maybe even
Time is a flat
infinity
circle.
ago.
It might be
Time-
next week. Who knows? I might go
Time
crazy
is
and
a
release this
cube.
one first.
Time
Ooh,
shit.
Oh, no. Shit.
What is this, a Nolan joint?
Only
Does love time shit.
3 movies in this top 10 list made it on all 4 of the individual Cinebeards lists.
Wow. That's a really cool factoid.
Yep. So, honorable mention 1, The Host.
Oh, yeah. Wait, The Host or Host?
Host. Sorry, Host.
Yeah, those are two very different movies.
Yes.
Yes.
That was my one. Hooray.
Tell us about it, Dion, because I ain't
So-
seen it.
It's yeah, it almost made it onto my list just because it was such a 2020 movie. It's a whole there's been a couple of films like this sort of set over Skype and stuff, but this one was set in the pandemic over a Zoom call, and it's basically this group of young women and a guy that do online seance. So the girl, she can't sort of see the person that does the seance in person, so she gets some of her friends together and they do it over a Zoom call, and they work in pretty much like all the typical Zoom call stuff. Like the movie's only 50 minutes long. It's 10 minutes of setup, and then it's one free Zoom call.
Oh,
Those are
That's
limited.
pretty
that's a
cool.
really cool caveat.
Yeah, like so it's this really good bite-sized thing. So just everything about it surprised me. Like the acting's super on point. They did everything they could do with their premise. They did it well, and then it ended.
Brilliant.
It's like,
Well,
so yeah,
I
if
am
you
sorry to say though, at 50 minutes, it is far too short to be considered here by us at the Academy.
Yeah. And will not be receiving any nominations, praise, or buzz.
yeah, but yeah, so like if you want a good 50-minute thrill, like you really can't go wrong. I was very impressed.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next up, I believe this was one of Thomas's, The Gentleman.
Yes.
I did
Guy
enjoy
Ritchie
that.
directed a film this year.
What?
And it was pretty good. Solid
Colin
7
Farrell
out-
is fucking outstanding in it,
Colin Farrell stole the show.
without a doubt.
You know, his
That
character.
diner scene, just ooh.
Oh, it was fantastic. And you know, it's just Guy Ritchie doing a gangster film like he does, like we've seen him do, and you know, not that dissimilar from all of his other gangster movies, which is
Which is
why
a
it
good
was-
thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
like, it's a winning formula. You go to your favorite restaurant and you order your favorite meal, and you get that meal and
Yeah.
you enjoy it. But nothing new, nothing exciting, nothing groundbreaking, except for the performance from the narrator and what's his name? Um,
Oh, Sons of Anarchy.
no, not him. The narrator, the investigative journalist.
Oh, fucking. Oh, Notting Hill.
Yes, like he always plays like
Hugh Grant.
handsome.
Hugh
Yeah, Hugh
Grant.
Grant. He always plays like
Huge
handsome.
Grant.
He always plays handsome British man who's very suave and very charismatic. In this, he's like this slimy, scaly, gross investigative journalist guy who's all weird, and he plays it really fucking well. And I
He
was just
does.
really impressed because you only really see them in these typecasty roles, and then when they get a chance to really spread their wings, they spread their wings.
Oh, it's like Paddington 2.
Yes.
Exactly, basically the same movie.
No,
You
no,
heard
no.
your
I'm
voice. The
talking about
gentleman
the.
is Paddington 2.
I'm talking about the what's his face's performance.
Yes,
The bear,
Yes.
Paddington. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
yes.
It's
I
Hugh
mean,
Grant.
it's
so
in
good
the
for
name
him.
of the movie, Dion.
He's sort of a slimy villain in that one as well, and he does a really, really good job.
Yeah. So yeah, I like The
Fantastic.
Gentleman. It's a good time. I think you should check it out.
Next honorable mention.
The next honorable mention is Tenet.
I
Still
haven't seen
it.
this
The fact
because
that it's an honorable mention just shows that you guys haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting to watch it with my girlfriend.
Nice. It is definitely one of the better films in Christopher Nolan's time bullshit movies.
Rad.
Because you know that boy likes his time bullshit.
He loves his time bullshit. I have seen Memento.
You've seen Memento, you've seen Dunkirk, you've seen Inception,
I've seen it all.
you've seen Interstellar.
Mhm.
All of it's got time bullshit going on.
All of it.
Man loves his
Yeah.
time nonsense.
I
And this is
did
a really
watch
well
Tenet.
put together one, and
Mhm.
and
I
and
did watch Tenet.
Pattinson
Good
does
stuff.
real good.
Look, I love Pattinson, even though from watching the trailers, I was able to detect that Pattinson might be something of an entire self-insert for what Christopher Nolan thinks how he is. Maybe.
Oh yes, he
Just a little bit.
completely is. Like I'm not going to
Never.
rag on the movie. It is competently made. And Nolan does all of his Nolanisms, and if you like that, give it a watch. If Nolan has and his Nolanisms have started grating on you like they have on me, maybe you don't need to
Ooh.
watch it.
And we get to see the return of lead man from Black Klansman.
Yes.
His
Yep.
name escapes me.
Mhm. I will say though that I will admit that he and his cinematographer just know how to use those IMAX cameras. My God, I will
Point them
not
at the
take that away
actor.
from him.
Point them at the actor. Make sure camera is on. Make sure your dit is fueled with caffeine.
Fun
Yes.
fact: the dude that you're talking about, Thomas, from Black Klansman,
Mm-hmm.
that is Denzel's son.
What?
Whoa!
Wow, that's got to feel really shitty seeing your son surpass you in every way as an actor.
Or
Very
proud.
accurate.
No, there's no
John
way.
David Washington.
There's no ways that Denzel is proud.
True.
Anyway,
Next up, the next honorable mention. This one made it on my list. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I
Holy
didn't get to
shit.
watch this one.
Holy shit! The
We'll have to watch it.
performances in that movie are fucking tastic.
Performances in that movie are fucking great.
No, like Chadwick Boseman made me fucking cry.
Oh yeah, fuck! I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, when he called you and told
this-
you he's fat.
This is his swan song.
Yes, and
Yeah, pretty much.
like I'm gonna call it right now. Like he's gonna get a posthumous Oscar for this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
almost certainly. Almost certainly.
How's
And
the music?
Violet, oh, fucking tastic, man! It's Trent. No, not Trent. I'm conflating it with Mac
It's
again
Trent
because the
Reznor.
music.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Finch.
Yeah, no, because the two styles are very similar. Like the jazzy, bluesy soundtrack is top notch in this movie, and holy shit, Viola Davis can fucking sing, yo.
Really? Is it
Yes.
her singing?
Yes,
Yo.
it's
Is
her
there
singing.
anything that woman cannot do? Save the
Um,
Suicide Squad. Yes.
Heyo.
The
Cell
only thing
5.
that
Good job,
woman,
Thomas.
the only thing Viola Davis cannot do is phone in a performance.
Damn.
Heyo. Sick burn.
She's real good. She's real good in this as well. And she
I
just
will
gets to
agree with that.
throw all that like I am a famous black woman swagger around like it's going out of business, and it is just
But in a
joy to
very
watch.
angsty, pained kind of manner.
There's layers to the performance. I love it.
Yes, there's layers to it. Fun fact: the film was directed by a theatrical director.
Oh, really? Someone that spent time in the theater?
If I remember, one of the Cinebeards, I think maybe Dion, did you spend some time in the theater?
I went
did
to a
actually.
theater once.
Yeah. But anyway, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, it is on Netflix. It is definitely worth a watch.
I will
The
agree. It
performances
fell just
alone.
outside my top 10.
If I had watched it, I'm sure it would have fallen in my top 10.
Probably. Very
Next
likely.
honorable mention.
Next honorable mention is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Did I get the title right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did.
I think they amended it to just be like Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn : Birds
colon,
of Prey.
Yeah, but they spelled out the word colon by accident. It's even more confusing.
Oh, so like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force : movie
Yeah.
forms of heroes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying
That
it was probably the most surprising film of the year for me. In
Well,
terms
mostly
of
because we thought we were about to watch Tenant.
yeah. Well,
that
and
is
we also-
actually my biggest argument for Tenet being good. Is remember how exciting those 10 minutes were?
Yo, we're so
That's-
excited.
That's the entire film.
Will
Oh,
my
nice.
heart will my heart be able to take it?
Yeah, but it
With
was
other
great.
things
And it was
going
our
on at
last.
the time, maybe.
It was our
but-
last cinema experience before the
Before the troubles.
in the before times.
And then my
So-
next cinema experience after that was actually Tenet.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
you-
Emancipation of Harley Quinn. I expected absolute trash,
Yeah.
and
And-
I just
and-
got a
and I
really fun,
didn't get it.
entertaining 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I had a really,
Yep.
really good time. It's I often think with these films, like, would I watch it again? And I
Yep.
definitely would. Like, I
Yes.
would watch it again, like maybe in a year for fun.
Yeah,
Especially just
definitely.
to watch Ian McGregor is like having such a good time.
Yeah. Oh, I love Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. Like,
So
he
good.
just chews scenery. And yeah, it's a
So
fun
much.
watch. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a fun
yep, yep.
time. And now, the next honorable mention, Soul, which only Jason watched.
When
Yeah, I
we
didn't
first
watch
watched the trailer, I expected nothing from it. And
See, when I first watched the trailer, I was expecting the sickest jazz movie ever.
I mean, it's got a lot of sick jazz. A lot of sick jazz.
All right. Well.
But most importantly, and why I liked it so much, is it's basically an animated film version of David Foster Wallace's This Is Water.
Wow, that is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a few missteps, and it feels in the middle like it's sort of floundering a little bit. But the last 20 minutes just bring it home so hard, and Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey's performances are fucking outstanding.
Nice.
Well, I mean, it's Tina
Yeah,
Fey.
I'm looking forward to it very much.
I will watch it. I just couldn't fit
Yeah, I
it
haven't
in.
got around to it. It's I can see why they usually have a time cutoff for like award shows.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
came
but
up
yeah,
a
Because
little.
this did release literally on Christmas Day, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are recording this episode on the 27th, just for
Yes.
context.
Oh no,
Yes.
you've dated it now.
Oh no.
But
oh.
yeah,
we've
I would
rated the
definitely
top
recommend
10
it. It
movies
is
of 2020.
it is definitely one of Pixar's best.
Nice.
Hmm.
Good to know they can still pop them out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Next honorable mention, The Lodge, which I believe was
What?
also on Dion's list, or was it
No.
on?
That
It was
was
on
number.
my
Thomas's
list.
It was on my list too.
That wasn't on mine.
Was it? It wasn't on your list.
It
I
was
haven't
number
seen
10
it.
on my list.
It was on my list. It was number 6
Oh
on
yes,
my
that's why.
list.
That's why it's only an honorable mention. Some movies scored higher.
That is
Ooh.
it's tough, yeah.
So Marcus, remember when you were saying, man, wouldn't it be really interesting and harrowing to explore the kind of psychological state of somebody that was in a horrible cult experience and then had to reintegrate into society and dealing with all of those traumas and triggers?
Yes.
That's what this movie is.
Oh my god. So I should have just watched this instead of the Jonestown haunting.
You should
That's
have.
correct.
And I watched this on Christmas because technically it's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie, much like The Thing
And
Prometheus.
pausing and the Die Hard, I guess.
I guess.
Although that's old hat
Al-
now to say, oh,
although,
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Bruce Willis has said that no, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It is a Bruce Willis movie. And now
He
when I meet
has.
him, I will slap him.
I have listened to the director's commentary, which I'm sure Marcus has as well, and the director says it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But yes,
He
The
does.
Lodge is pretty outstanding. I don't want to say too much about it because it's really cool to go in blind and
Yeah,
you don't know
um,
which direction it's going to take.
Yes, I do think
Fantastic.
that the parts of the second act dragged a bit, but the
Yeah.
third act, fucking in like complete contravention to most horrors and thrillers, just fucking swells and really carries it home.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Fantastic.
third acts are traditionally
The weakest
the
part
weak
of horrors.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
So-
usually
so
that
it's-
point where it switches over into the third act where I mentally start clocking out.
Yeah. So, but this is where it really kicks up.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, but really, really good movie. And again, every time you get competent performances out of child actors, I'm always impressed.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a kid from It and It
yeah.
Too. Although I found him to be a bit wooden.
A little bit. But he
I
was
think
also
we-
wooden in it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Finn
I think we were
Wolfhard.
kind of getting no,
not Finn
the
Wolfhard.
tall lanky guy.
The main
the
kid,
other one.
I guess.
Okay.
If you're gonna
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
he's
where
not
the
great.
film.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he was just kind of playing that character we saw in It again, just a
Mm.
variation of it. The little girl, she played very well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
she
I
had
felt
little
her
shrimp.
terror.
She had little shrimp as pet.
Sea
And,
monkeys.
that was cool.
Aw.
Great. That brings us
Okay.
to the final honorable mention. I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 honorable mentions. So our top 10 is technically a top 18, but who cares? It's our episode. It's Color Out of
Oh,
Space.
18 top 10 movies.
Woohoo!
What? Color Out of
Hooray.
Space was this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Really?
it's that's the one I was asking about in the thread, where it was on the festival circuit last year, but it released in January of this year.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. That would have been on my list.
Damn.
Aw,
Quickly amend your list.
make it number
Marcus,
11.
It's too late
I'm
now.
sending you a new list, Marcus.
It's too
Quick.
late. Trust me. It's too late. Shut up.
It's not. Marcus, check your phone.
Marcus, what does your phone say?
I
My
didn't send
phone-
anything to your phone. I
my
didn't
phone
follow
says-
through with it, but
My phone
Aw.
says nothing. Damn it.
No, Marcus, this is where you say my phone says I have 34% battery power.
No. Well,
But
actually,
yes,
my phone
Color Out of
says-
Space.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was
really
really
good. Like,
Again, Lovecraft being famously very difficult to adapt into film.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job about like
Oh, they did a
adding the
bang-up job.
characters. I was very worried for the first 10 minutes, I'd say.
Hmm.
There's that
Yeah.
really terrible voiceover
yes.
doing really bad reading of Lovecraft, and then there's
Yeah.
the girl doing the little ritual, and I was like,
Yeah.
no. And then it was great.
It
and I
was
loved
great. The weak point in it for me was Cage's caginess. I think he
Yes.
overcaged.
There were
did
those
overcage.
little bits
Overcage.
where he switches his voice.
Yeah, to like a weird Donald Trump impersonation.
Yeah. Those bits, totally took me out of the film. I was like,
Yeah, they really did, and I'm sad because the rest of his performance was good.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
those bits don't make any sense to me.
no,
It's just
I
like,
didn't
I
get
think the,
them.
the
But
director needs to be a little more
Yeah.
firm. But other than
Yeah.
that, yeah.
other than that, it was
was a
great.
cool-
And it's got that little boy from Bly Manor.
Yes,
Yes.
He looks like a young George.
Also, the practical effects.
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, the mother. Oh,
Oh, what a
Mm.
great design.
Yeah.
so
When-
good.
And the
And
mother and the
Very,
kid.
very Cronenberg.
Very
Yeah.
Always a
Cronenberg,
good
who
thing.
we'll talk about later again. And I,
Spoilers.
just it's always fun watching an adaptation of a Lovecraft, and there is a black character in it, and I'm always like,
And he is, spoiler alert, the one that survives.
yeah, take that.
I just saw that thing again on Imgur earlier, which is like, here's a picture of Lovecraft and his cat.
And his cat.
Yes, his cat. It's just Lovecraft and his
Don't-
cat.
And his cat. That's
Yep. Mhm.
Moving swiftly on from
moving
that.
swiftly on.
His cat, racial slur.
Correct.
Next
Like,
honorable mention.
No, that's it for the honorable mentions. We're into the top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Like, if
Top
you weren't so
10.
bad as math, you would have known. I said that too.
No, you said there were 8.
Yes, Color Out Space was the 8th honorable mention.
I'm not. I can't keep track of things without numbers.
There it
In the
is.
10th position,
Number 10.
Number 10.
One
Number
that definitely surprised me when it came out, which is why it made my list. Borat, subsequent movie film.
Hooray! That
It was
was
briefly on my list before I watched all the other movies.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. When I was doing my proto list, it was there. I was like, whoa! And then it was
I think comedies tend to get shafted in these things, especially like the association with Borat is like obviously everyone doing the terrible voice and doing the memes and
Yes.
all the stuff. But the film itself is outstanding. And like
Yes.
the way it manages to like walk that line between being a film but also kind of a social documentary, and like a cultural snapshot, but also how he used his daughter to sort of overcome the fact that the character's so famous. I don't know. I thought it was brilliant.
I think this is one of.
It wasn't on my list, and then the more I thought about it, like the more it just crept up my list, and it just crept up further, and then I thought about it some more, and then it just crept up further. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so thoroughly and entirely better than the first one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
so worried.
This is
I thought, like, how could
this is an Adam's Family Values situation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really good. And if you haven't made the time to watch it, I mean, if you don't have Amazon Prime, why not? I guess.
Yeah, the woman and the woman that plays his daughter, like that commitment for a first
Yo,
time. is-
She sold me on it because often like he would take me out of it because I'd be like, oh, there's Sacha Baron Cohen.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
a Deadpool situation where he just works better as a supporting character.
Yes.
Yes.
It was,
Yeah.
it was fantastic. And like my favorite, so I was watching some of the making. I was just like, where they're like ad libbing the parts where they're speaking in Kazakh or whatever. He's
Oh,
just
yeah,
doing
but
gibberish, and she's just straight up replying in Bulgarian. Like,
Yeah.
what they're
Well,
saying to
she's
each other.
replying in Bulgarian and he's speaking entirely Hebrew to her.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. and it still works, and it's incredible. Like, yeah, what a find, that girl.
Yeah, amazing.
Number 9.
Number 9.
9, one that also came in under the wire, released on Christmas Day, Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, released a week before that in our cinemas. Yeah, baby.
We went and IMAXed the shit out of that movie.
That was my first IMAX of the after
troubles.
times. Yeah, of the troubled times. And it
Every
was such
single
a fun
person
time.
in that movie was just having the best time of their lives.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everyone was having fun. I like that this time. I don't want to give away too much, but I think it's safe to say that Patty was talking about how Warner Brothers made her change the ending of the original.
Yes, I
So
remember
originally-
ending.
there
it was
being
originally
a
much-
kind of
much-
thing being smaller
much
scale.
smaller, yeah.
Mm.
And I think this time she kind of got what she wanted,
Yes.
Cool.
and
definitely
it's just so
feels
much
like
more
that.
effective.
Yes, and I mean, Pedro Pascal is fantastic. as
Yeah,
Black
he's
Lord.
just having such a good time.
Oh, having so
People
much
can
fun.
see
and-
my face. Hooray! I'm so happy.
I'm an actor, I promise.
What summed this movie up perfectly for me is at the end, once the credits were rolling and Dion turned to me, is like, you finally got the Superman movie you wanted.
Yeah.
Which
We
means,
finally got a good
Jason,
one.
you'll never get the Superman movie you wanted.
I know.
Yeah. There's even just specific sequences in there that are just like so Superman, and just
It's
the whole
it's
thing's
very
just so
it's very like they really
hopeful and
I mean-
beautiful and funny, and again, like Patty Jenkins fucking managing to make Chris Pine again into like a charismatic, likable front man. It's like, this guy's a good actor. It's like, nope, she's just a very good director.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. Just to speak to the whole Superman thing. Like the entire like first mall sequence.
Yeah.
You know, where she's doing the first superheroics of the movie. It's like that's pure like Superman saving the cat type stuff. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The
No, I
way
loved
she,
it.
the
And
way she moves and the way like how she carries herself and
What she prioritizes in the
what she
situation.
prioritizes in the
and I
situation.
think the best part about it is also how they gave that school for disabled teenagers the contract to do some of the CG. I think that was, I think that was really charitable.
God, those running scenes. Oh
Yo,
my
that
God.
was holy crap, dude.
I'm so glad that when I asked you, hey, is that thing that I didn't like from the last movie improved? You were like, no, it's worse.
It's much worse. Yo, and as cool as the fight choreography is in the scene with Cheetah, and it is very cool. Yeah,
It's hard
that
to focus
CGI
on.
Yeah, that your
It is. It is.
It just looks like an
unfortunate-
Unreal Engine game.
You know what it reminds me of, and by this by no means. Well, it is a slight knock against the movie, but not to the detriment of everything else. You know what it reminds me of? The Spider-Man Electro fight from Amazing Spider-Man.
No, that
2.
is a knock. That's a knock. That you mean the part where Electro sings Incy Wincy Spider while jumping between electricity pylons? Yeah, that's bad.
Yep, dubstep into Wincy Spider.
Yes,
That's bad, Marcus. That's a bad
I
association.
know it's bad. I don't want to bring down Wonder Woman 1984 to the
Legitimate
level.
criticisms are legitimate.
Yep,
Okay, fine. It is
but
a
it doesn't
legitimate
take away
criticism.
from the overall enjoyment.
No, not at
Great
all.
movie.
Well,
Good
when I
time.
watch it, I will let you know if it takes away from mine.
Mhm.
And they had lots more. They had a bunch of more Themyscira stuff, so I was happy.
And
Yes.
also, the heart wrenching parts are properly heart wrenching.
Jeez, yes, they are.
Mm.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
All right,
In the 7th position.
number 7.
Sorry,
Wait, didn't we skip
no,
one?
8. We did skip. Sorry,
Fucking
number
get
8.
your own goofs.
Stealing
eight-
goofs.
In 8th position, a David Fincher film with Gary Oldman. It's Mank.
I
my
didn't
God.
recognize Gary Oldman until midway through the movie.
But
Holy
that's how
shit.
good Gary Oldman is.
It is ridiculous how that man transforms everything.
Yeah, I want to talk about some of the technical stuff.
Please do, because
So the black and white in the movie was good, but I don't think it was as good as it was intending to be, and I know why. This movie was shot in high dynamic range,
Yeah.
which means that you get more colors and they're more saturated. And I
Yes.
think what they thought was that, more saturation means when we turn it the other way around, it'll be less saturated, thus making your black and whites pop more like
Brighter
they would.
whites and blacker
Yeah.
blacks.
Exactly. Like they would on old celluloid. However, it didn't really do that, and the whole movie has this kind of misty gray look over the black and white because of the high dynamic range. So I think they took kind of a creative gamble and it didn't really pay off, but it didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie much. It was just something that bugged me.
I mean that's totally like an after effect thing.
Yeah,
I would
but
still argue
like
that
otherwise,
that the DOP nailed how to light
yes,
for black and white.
That was all textbook. It was like
Yeah.
literally textbook, to the point where, you know, fucking the scene transitions looked like they're scene transitions from stage plays. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
they were absolutely incredible. Like how they'd hone in on a singular light source and create shadow that spread out, and then they would fade back in the same way. Just incredible. And the attention to detail in the feel of the film in terms
Yes.
of editing, I don't know if you noticed this, but they consistently put the cigarette burn marker in
I
the top
did.
right corner every
I
20 to
did.
30
Yeah,
minutes as
yeah,
if
yeah,
they
yeah.
were changing reels, and it persists throughout the whole movie. I thought it was just going to be a once-off thing, like an afterthought, but no,
Yeah.
it
Yep.
is actual there.
Well, I mean,
And
Fincher doesn't
the
have
first
afterthoughts.
time, yeah, absolutely, the first time they do it, where the new writer is introduced and they go do that little like spitballing
pitch,
powwow,
yeah.
there's a back forward editing misstep, as
Mhm.
if the film was not spliced together correctly,
Huh.
Yep.
which is like that attention to detail that they would leave in a mistake that old editors would make in those times. That's fucking
cool.
awesome.
And like just beyond those technical aspects, the way that because this was written by Fincher's son, like it's written like a movie of that time.
Yes.
The dialogue is performed as if it's like the 1940s. It is a time capsule of a movie. It is a perfect representation.
It is. And that, while exceptionally awesome and I enjoyed it, is one of my problems with the movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the movie. It's on my top 10 list.
Yeah.
But again, this is a problem with trailers. And I thought this was going to be a noir film, not a biopic wearing a noir hat,
Yes.
which is what this was.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, thoroughly enjoyed it, but I wanted a noir.
Yes. Well, hopefully Netflix will give Fincher another check, and he'll just make a proper noir.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Is I didn't get my wuxia resurgence, but maybe I'll get a noir one.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas. Hope is the first step
Let
to
me hope,
disappointment.
Jason. Please, I'm in
Let
a
him
good
hope.
place in my
Fincher-
life right now.
Hey, Fincher makes noir movies. Okay, he just hasn't done one in black and white yet,
But he will.
but he fucking will.
But yeah, no, Dio, what you were saying about Oldman's transformation.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's easy to stumble around and play a drunk,
Yeah.
you know, shittily, but to do it convincingly is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a smart drunk.
Yes, a cogent drunk.
An eloquent drunk.
Yeah.
Good movie.
It is a really good movie and definitely worth a watch. In seventh position.
Number 7.
Position, and the only reason it's this high up the list or low down the list, whichever you want to say, is because it's only on 2 people's lists.
Yeah, if this is Wolf Walkers, I'm gonna fucking leave this podcast.
Bye.
It's First Cow.
Fuck off. I'm
gonna
gonna
leave this podcast.
I'm gonna leave this fucking podcast. This was far and away my favorite movie of the year.
This movie, Jason, did you cry at the end of this movie? Because I did.
I did have a bit of a sad, yes. Yes, I did.
It is.
So tell us about it
So-
without spoiling.
It is so rare that you get a Western movie that is small scale, that is about people, that is not violence based, and that is about friendship.
Yeah, the way that the two writers, like the guy who wrote the book that it was based on, and the director who is also the screenwriter, the way they described their relationship was homosocial. So basically, almost close enough that they're dating, but there's never any sort of sexual tension.
And
It's to more easily focus on the close-ups and shit like that. So with 16:9, when you're doing close-ups of faces, there's a lot of space on either side that sort of takes away from it. What they wanted is
so your person is always kind of filling your whole frame, and that makes it feel much more personal and much more intimate.
Mhm. Like the lighthouse from last year.
Exactly like the light.
it felt very, very similar, yes.
Well, it was also produced by A24.
Shh, Thomas, we can't be shill so blatantly.
No, I will.
You
Are
know
they the ones
the
that did that other thing about the fantasy island?
No, that was
that's
Blumhouse.
Shh, I'm shilling.
But yeah,
You keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
that scene
I'm shilling
near
for
the end,
Blumhouse.
Thomas. That scene near the end where he's in that other hut and things are like a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
The way the DOP did that was the old school technique of
What, of
Vaseline on the
Vaseline?
lens.
Oh, fuck! Oh, that is so fucking classic. Oh, that's
love it.
great. I love
it when
that.
filmmakers do that type of thing.
What a great little like nod, because I was wondering, like, wow, this looks really familiar.
Yep. And the music and sound production is just
The score in that
ooh.
is so emotive and so rare
Yeah,
that like
it's peppered in so sparsely that when it does pick up, ooh.
oof.
But yeah,
Somebody
if
should
you're
really buy it for someone.
yeah, somebody should definitely buy it and gift it to someone. But yeah, if you're into slow westerns, nothing's going to be better for you this year.
Yeah, I was so impressed and surprised and just yeah. And like I don't know either of the leads and their performances were great.
Yep.
Yeah, really good movie. Really, really good.
Mhm.
Nice.
Fantastic. Now,
Number 6.
in number 6, in 6th position, we have. Well, this is where Thomas is going to leave the podcast because in 6th position is Wolfwalkers.
I'm leaving the podcast. This is way too low for that fucking transcendently good film.
I think that's exactly where it was sitting on my personal list.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't watch crap.
No, sorry, it was number
Ooh.
5. Number 5 on my personal list.
Jason messaged me. It's like, Dion, don't waste your time. This isn't even top 4 material.
Fuck you. You dare
What?
disrespect the cultural heritage of Ireland rescued by a single man?
The one good thing about Wolfwalkers is that it led me to discovering that Wolf House film that we are busy hunting for.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I've got it running next to me looking for things.
Hooray!
so Wolfwalkers, a
Tell me about it.
hand-painted fucking masterpiece of animation.
Just Tom Moore single-handedly rescuing the Irish cultural heritage one movie at a time.
Yep, every cartoon saloon film that comes out has made my top 10 for that year.
Absolutely. And this
They're-
is,
they're
in my
like
opinion, his
Wonka.
best one.
And I'm just glad that, like, Apple of all people were like, here, have a money.
Have a money, sir.
Go make a Star War.
Go make a Star War. And he was like, no, the Irish cultural heritage must be preserved.
It's fantastic.
The
it's
visual
beautiful,
language
art
of the
direction
film.
is-
Yeah,
yes,
the
it's a must watch. must-watch
I've never seen visual storytelling used like this in an animated film, or actually in any film ever. The way it was thematically consistent and the way it was used to tell its own story in the story is fucking incredible. And I've never seen its like, and
There's
I'm
an
just-
example in live action. I'm struggling to think of the name now that used essentially lighting the same way that Wolfwalkers used the animation.
Interesting. The way it used specifically its outline shading.
Not specifically outline shading, but
No, I
essentially
mean that sort of
changing the
thematic
feel
device.
of this. Yes, very much so.
Right. But yeah, no, incredible
It's-
story,
Yeah.
incredible characters, incredible art style, and I was filled with rage when I went to go look at the Metacritic reviews, and somebody was like, "Oh, it's a fine thing to show your kids," and I was like, "Fuck, excuse me." I felt like Samuel L. Jackson's character in Unbreakable, where that dude was trying to buy like rare art for his 5-year-old.
Yeah.
You need to leave now. There has been a misunderstanding.
It's and hey, here's something that those of our viewsters who only really like memes can understand.
It's a bit of a spoilers. So I can't protect Dion anymore, but I'm damn sure going to protect the Viewstoners.
Thank you, Jason.
Wolfwalkers,
Alright,
watch it.
Number 5.
Wolfwalkers, watch it. I watched it with my girlfriend and then got emotional.
Aww.
Did you do a cry with her?
Number 5.
Redacted. In number 5, going in a different emotional direction, I guess. We are going
Yes.
to Palm Springs.
Hey!
Fucking
And what-
surprise of a movie.
I'm so glad I went in completely blind because I
Oh yeah.
was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Ah, the fuck.
Yep.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
We don't want to like spoil it, but it is.
No.
No,
No.
it is by definition a romantic comedy.
But produced by The Lonely Island.
After
Yes.
they read Buddhist philosophy.
Yeah.
And probably just smoked a shit ton of
And
weed.
maybe did a weed.
Yeah.
They did a
It
they
is
did a
some of-
peyote, let's be real.
Yeah.
some of the most
Yeah, they definitely
entertaining
did a peyote.
film watching time I've done.
Yeah. I had such a good time with it. I
I mean,
had such a blast.
For long time Viewstoners, just the fact that a romantic comedy made it into the Sybians top 10 should already
Yeah.
tell you have to watch this fucking thing.
Pretty much.
Yep, it was my personal number 2.
Oh wow.
Yep.
It's a good
This
movie.
personal number 2, it was only not on one of our lists, but I won't reveal who.
Ooh.
Thomas's.
Shit, he caught on. He
Oh
figured it out.
no! He rumbled us!
Moving on
It may-
swiftly to number 4.
Number 4.
The first of the 3 films, which appears on all 4 of our lists in varying positions. One
Ayo.
that Jason is very, very, how can I put this, excited to talk to
Yeah.
us about.
Don't you dare be making those jokes, Marcus.
It's The Vigil.
I was very impressed by the fact that not only was the movie very good, but also the fact that it featured Jason from 5 years ago as the guy who pays the other guy to do the vigiling. I was like, it's Jason! It's
Hey,
Jason! Jason
Hey,
from 5
Dion,
years
hey,
ago!"
Dion, stop stepping in on my shtick.
This
Get
is
your-
twice now.
It genuinely looks like him. It
Get your own
looks
boobs.
more like your brother. It really does.
Yeah, but this movie
Really good.
really
It's
fucking
really
good and
good.
connected with me in a really fucking meaningful way.
Yeah.
In a,
So
like
on
if you
a
want
personal
to,
level.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to skip ahead and not know any much more about it, just know that it is a haunted house movie with its roots in Jewish folklore.
Yeah, if I remember, I'll put a time signature on the screen now for where you can skip to for the
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the next entry.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
god damn it, this is good and creepy, and it had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I do not.
And that old lady was so perfectly cast.
So
Oh
perfect.
yes.
Dion,
Yes,
I
and-
knew when you were watching this film because I felt like a disturbance in the air when the toenail thing happened.
Oh no!
Oh yeah,
I saw
that
it start
toenail
happening,
thing.
and I literally pulled my T-shirt over my face. I'm not embarrassed until I heard the sound effect stop. Nope.
Yeah, we
Nope. 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 Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
we
Nope.
literally cringed on our
It
very
was
comfortable
good.
couch. We were like,
I really
oh.
like that the movie. I like that the movie was simple and that it ticked every horror box, but
Mm.
did not feel paint by numbers. I think
Yeah.
that is a very specific achievement.
What I was very surprised by, what I wasn't like expecting from it at all, was a really good use of technology in horror.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like
and it also it was great. Sorry to interrupt you, because it played into the characters leaving the Orthodox community and
Yeah.
his maturation as a character.
Where you can't quite use the phone. It's really good.
Yeah, and like in the beginning he can't quite use it and is like, oh, my phone. And in the final shot we see
Yeah.
him, he's very confidently using the phone
Mm.
with one hand, whereas in the beginning of the film he's like cradling it with two hands and doesn't know how to use it. So
Yeah.
it was such a simple thing, but it was a very
Mm.
clear sort of like boop boop.
And like just also that it has and Jason, you'll probably be able to speak to this more with more authority, but I feel like the representation of the Jewish traditions that are present in the film were very true to reality.
Not exactly. There was a lot like the spirit of it they got right. The sort of meaning behind everything. The actual ways of doing it they sort of got a little bit. I think they played
Little bit
played
horror
it.
movie.
Yeah, they played it up more to look better on camera. Because it would have looked boring as fuck if they did it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual like meaning and
Like I know in
feeling
real
behind
life
it.
when the guy doing the vigil has like terrible hallucinations that are like emblematic of his like deep-seated guilt and stuff, it's not nearly as rad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty terrifying and tragic.
Yeah, but
I will
yeah,
also say it is thematically the perfect complement to a film which I assume is going to be later on the list.
It is. It might
probably,
even
and a
be
film
the
that wasn't
next
on
one.
my list.
Because you are a coward, Jason.
But yeah, what
Coward.
In
I
third
just felt they
position,
were too similar, and I had to make the choice on this one. But
you
it's that
did. You
what got
absolutely
me
did
was
not.
the end of it, where he was there, essentially praying for the old dead dude.
Yeah.
Because
Explain the cultural significance of that.
well, the cultural significance of that is once you dead, there's nothing you can do to redeem yourself or to have your sins forgiven. It falls on those who survive you to sort of pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way that old man wasn't just going to be eternally tormented was thanks to that dude.
It's pretty nice of him. For
Yeah.
just
What a
$400.
nice, what a nice ending.
It's a pretty sweet
Yeah.
deal.
I also do like that the ghost didn't want to just murder him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it was about. It wasn't about murder. Because, like, yeah,
It's a
it's
guilt
it-
demon.
well, it's most of these ghost stories, The Grudge, The Ring, it's about the murder.
Hmm.
That's what ghosts do in a lot of our ghost stories. They're not kind of these perpetual tormentors.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this, Thomas, afterwards, where it wasn't like, okay, now now that this whole thing happened, he's found his religion again, and he's
Yes,
Yeah,
they
I was-
resisted
I
the
was full on
urge
religion.
I
to
was
have him
impressed.
walk out of the house and
Mm.
put on a yarmulke and just be like, "Hey, I'm back
I-
again."
I was getting a little worried that this might just be a recruitment film. I'm very glad it
Yeah,
wasn't.
but yeah, just like you said, we were talking about it, and that's not what it was at all. It's
Mm.
it's about him coming to terms with it
Yes.
Yeah.
and as a part of his life, as opposed to like violently rejecting it and being ashamed of it based on his trauma, which is, part of a healing process.
Exactly.
Good movie.
Really good movie.
And underrepresented in, cultural films,
Yes.
specifically horrors.
Just like our
The
next
only-
entry.
The only one I can think of that also had a Jewish folklore aspect to it was The Unborn. Am I remembering correctly?
I don't know.
Anyway, I remember there was a box and it had Yiddish on it. I think it was The Unborn.
Oh, point of thing. Watch the vigil with subtitles.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes!
Yiddish here. And
Yeah.
even
The
I was lost.
I watched like the first 15 minutes. I was like, gonna have to go purchase a different version of this film.
Yeah.
Don't forget to switch on the subtitles when you rent it for. I think it's on Amazon. Well, wherever
Yeah,
you rent it from,
sure.
make sure you enable subtitles. Otherwise, you will unfortunately get lost in some of the nuanced conversations when they switch very
Indeed.
naturalistically from English to Yiddish back and forward, almost like it is their second language.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
but they're in America.
They're in America.
All right, onto our thematically similar but culturally different number 3.
His house.
Wait, so this was on your list, Jason?
Yes!
This was not on my list. It was just outside
Why?
my list.
Bro.
I actually do not have a good reason for why.
You wanted more diversity in your list, didn't you? Diversity
I
ruins
did.
everything.
To be perfectly honest, yeah, that is also why I took out Superman, Red Sun, and put Soul in rather than rearranging things.
Well, you're a bad person because this one, in my opinion,
This-
was number 1.
This movie was so fucking harrowing
It was
Yes.
so upsetting on every level.
on every level.
Because for me, it did the thing. The reason I put it just slightly above the Vigil is because it was harrowing in like you could take the supernatural elements out of it.
and it's
and it's
still
still
a
harrowing.
fucking terrifying horror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like when the woman is just walking around looking fucking
That
church
that
street.
whole sequence.
wanted to
of
die.
her- of
It
the,
took me about
Yeah.
20 minutes to watch that sequence because I
The-
kept
the
just
s-
falling off my chair and
the
curling up.
cinematography in that sequence is fantastic because the distance that the camera is away from her is like you are a person that is following her,
Yeah.
and she is
Oh.
constantly looking behind herself into camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she's looking at you who are following her and like making her uncomfortable, and as the predominant consumers of the film are white, it is thematically appropriate.
Yeah. So
Yep.
the premise for those who don't know, just broadly, is that it's a family that sort of escape a war-torn country and they seek asylum
The Sudan, to be specific.
they
Yeah.
seek asylum in the UK, and and it's basically just
And it doesn't
okay,
go
cool.
well.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
have been in detention, and now we're gonna start putting you on probation. But if you make even the slightest mistake, we're just gonna fucking deport you.
Yeah.
The slightest
Yeah.
mistake, and everything is rigged against you.
Yeah,
And
the
then the
entire
fucking
everything.
Almost
Yeah,
as if
it was-
the UK government doesn't want refugees.
Almost like
What?
that.
That's great.
For,
That's okay,
for
that'll
a
just-
portion of it felt like Hereditary in that you're not sure there's anything supernatural just yet.
Yeah.
True.
There's
But what I
spoil-
like,
spoiler alert, just forward 10 seconds. That line at the end where it's like, like, have you seen the ghost? You're like, no. Have you seen the witch? You're like, no, my wife killed it.
no, my wife
Yeah.
killed
Why
it.
she
She's
killed,
like,
she killed it. Just like so matter of fact, and the guy just looks at him like, Cool story.
Also,
Cool story, bro.
skip ahead again, Vuceness, because fucking hell, when it puts its hand in his arm.
Oh,
Oh my god.
that was so good and so
Yeah,
horrible.
Oh
The
my
This
God.
movie,
cinematography was
it's
spectacular.
it's
as
one
well.
of the few movies on. It's like Hereditary for me in that like it's incredible. It's top of my list, but I will never watch it again.
I will. I
know
watched it
you will,
4
but
times now.
I love myself, so I won't.
No, you see, Thomas is like me. We want other people to watch it, and we will watch it. Hey,
And I will subject other people to it.
I'll tell other
hey,
people to watch it, but I won't. Not a chance.
No, you see, I'll be there. Like
yeah,
the Resident Evil 3 merchant going, 4 merchant going, what are you buying?
What are you buying?
yeah.
I'll sell this
His
for a
vibe.
high price.
All right, I know what number 1 and number 2 are, but I don't know their order.
All right, what are
No,
they?
you don't. You have no idea what number 1 and number 2 are. How could you? I am the only one with the list.
Yeah, but I know which ones were high up on my list that weren't in the honorable mention.
Yeah, high up on your list doesn't mean shit. Anyway, in number 2,
Number
probably
2.
the most, I would say, the most mainstream horror
Oh
movie
yeah,
in
oh
our top
yeah,
10,
yes, yes,
The
yes.
Yep,
Invisible
yep.
Man.
That's exactly where it was on my list. Fuck, the
Jesus
movie was a good
Christ.
time. But
What
Jason and I
a
watching that in the cinema and just like curling up like small children
Ooh.
during that whole opening sequence, just writhing in our seats.
That opening sequence was harrowing, to say the least.
I do like that we have 2 movies in our top 10 that are like gaslighting is bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yet Marcus
The other one
still
is
here.
The Lodge.
So it's yeah,
Gaslighting, bad.
it's fucking and what's the actress's name? Moss, Elizabeth Moss. I want to say.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Moss.
The Scientologist. Despite that, she is a really fucking good actor. Shit, she's
You'd
really
never
good.
think it.
Yeah,
She's so
she's
good.
basically just. You still have to watch *Handmaid's Tale* because it is just that opening sequence, but the series.
I don't know if I could survive that. To be
Put
perfectly
that
honest.
in my
It is that
veins.
level. I'm not kidding when I say it's that level of anxiety and stuff with
Put
her.
that in my veins.
But there's
You
like
know I
multiple
don't
scenes.
feel anxiety.
Dude, Thomas, you will feel it. I can't believe you haven't seen *Handmaid's Tale*. It's so up your alley. And yeah, it's so good and well written, and it
And
makes
just
me very excited that they're taking over the whole Universal.
yes, I've you
Except for
know
the fact that
when
they've given Invisible Woman to Elizabeth Banks.
But it's not tied to this movie.
Yeah.
well yeah
Thankfully.
because the Invisible Man is Moss at
Mm.
the end of the movie. Spoilers.
Heyo.
Also,
Spoilers, it's good.
this was Lee Wannell, same dude who
Yes.
did Upgrade.
Yes.
Oh yeah, true.
Which
And
is
if
why
you haven't
the-
seen Upgrade, go fucking watch Upgrade.
Yeah. Which is why when the Invisible Man does for a few scenes go a bit actiony, it works
Oh
because
yeah.
Lee
Yeah.
Wannell knows
It
what he's
worked
doing.
Fucking
Oh,
well.
Yeah, and
also a film where I have to massively recommend all the behind the scenes stuff and the director's commentary. Really, 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 really good commentary.
Rad.
Nice.
But it's that
And
typical, he's New Zealander, I think.
Mm.
And it's just that sense of humor. It's just fucking fantastic.
one of the things and it's a weird thing to be, really keen on, but one of the things I really liked in Invisible Man was the design of the suit.
Oh yeah,
It
Yeah.
looks
it
like
really
an eldritch
triggered my
abomination.
what's that fucking that thing?
Trypophobia.
That's the one. Oh boy.
It looks like an imbiber of the old blood.
Well, I mean, with
Yeah.
those eyes everywhere, it would fit in Bloodborne pretty handily.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it really did look like an eldritch abomination, and I
Yeah.
think that was a conscious choice.
I'm
Mm.
pretty sure it was.
Yeah, and
The
also
production
just, like,
design is obviously a
judging
Bloodborne
from
fan.
the commentary, also like talking to like designers and physicists and stuff, like sort of the most plausible way they could go about making a suit that would work for the film. It's sort of it's also the one that's sort of skirted closest to potential reality.
But yeah, fantastically made, fantastically shot, fantastically acted.
Hmm.
Good movie all round about gaslighting and the perpetuation of the cycle of violence.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
I want to watch it again. That and Halloween.
You should. Like,
It's
People
and that's
watching
the one
both
thing.
of those.
The Invisible Man is the type of horror that most people will be able to watch more than once.
It's the type
God,
of horror
that
that most
scene-
people who aren't even horror fans would be able to watch.
that
Yeah.
scene in the restaurant.
Oh,
Oh,
that is
Oh,
my biggest
fucking
fucking
God.
surprise. Not in a million years did I see that coming.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. Not at all. By that time I had spoilers. By that time I'd forgotten that tiny moment where the knife disappears off the counter.
Mm.
Off the counter?
Earlier in the
earlier scene.
when she's first making breakfast,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
the knife goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'd totally forgotten about that.
Yeah.
It was just, it was so well done. And because you're sitting there and you're like, is she gonna believe her or isn't she? Is she gonna believe her or isn't she? Like you're just waiting and like you're so tense about that, and they're just like,
So
lol.
invested
And,
And
they're
they're
just like, fuck
Rug
you,
pull.
guy. Oh,
Good movie.
really good.
Go watch it.
Really good. And only 1 point behind our number one pick,
Oh,
which is on all 4 of our lists.
Yay!
Uh,
I subjected many groups of people to this movie.
and dear God, does this movie have so much in it and is a
There are
spectacular
so many
debut?
layers to this movie.
I'm, of course, talking about Baby Cronenberg, Brandon Cronenberg's debut film, Possessor.
Written and directed.
Possessor.
Oh,
As Dion said, not an easy film to watch.
nope. I actually honestly blocked it out. I watched it recently and I blocked it out so heavily that only last night did I remember about it and like send through this morning, I think, send it through to Marcus like,
Yeah.
oh wait, shit, I forgot Possessor exists. My brain blocked.
I've watched it 3 times, 3
Yeah.
or 4 times in the last 2 weeks.
I didn't realize there's a
Mhm.
director's cut.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's an uncut version. That's the one that I watched first,
Same.
and then I
Legally purchased.
the other QXR copy. And I watched that. I was like, no, this is for the first time a QXR copy is not the superior one.
Damn.
No, the
Yeah,
uncut
no, but-
version is
Please watch the uncut version.
Yeah,
It is
I guess I'm gonna have.
much better.
I never wanted to watch this movie again, but I think it's only fair.
Oh, it's worth it. And then
Mm.
when the director's commentary for the uncut version comes out, watch it again
yeah,
and get all of those juicy tidbits.
yeah. Because like I don't want to tell anyone about anything that's in this movie, but you
I
gotta watch it.
know. Okay. Skip ahead because we're going to talk a bit about it.
Yeah.
Well, I
Um,
mean, it's number one, so I guess if you're gonna leave now without hearing about it, goodbye.
I suppose you could do
Oh.
that.
Because skipping ahead is skipping us saying, "All right, goodbye, viewers."
I mean, people want what they want.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this movie. My God.
Buffy. Fuck me in the ass.
Starring Mandy from Nicolas Cage film Mandy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You mean starring Tilda Swinton?
Starring the woman that looks like a cross between Tilda Swinton and an alien.
And the chick from Mandy.
Yes.
Mhm.
She puts in a fantastic performance in this
Yo.
movie. That whole sequence when she is standing in front of her house, kind of remembering how to talk like herself,
Yes.
is just
Yo.
incredible.
Yeah.
And seeing her playing alongside that man
The
whose
dude
name
from
I
It
don't
Comes
know.
at Night.
It comes at night. He's such a good actor. Holy crap! If you want to see him again, watch Sweet Virginia, which has John Bernthal.
I fucking love that movie.
dude, that movie's so good. But yes, he's fantastic. She is fantastic. And something I noticed on my third rewatch, the sequence where she first jacks into him, Colin, and she's in the bathroom. All of the labels on everything in the bathroom are reversed,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't ever see writing from his perspective again.
Yes.
But that's the only time you do see, and everything's reversed. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, that's cool.
That is really cool.
I got like
But the layers in this movie and the twists and the turns and the level of uncomfortable visceral violence.
Oh
yes.
no, dude.
But
There are
it
so-
wasn't, the violence was not big. The violence was not big. It was,
Robo
Wow.
Dion?
wow.
Yeah.
The
Sorry, my internet's fucking out here.
the violence in that movie was so uncomfortable and hardcore, but so
Yes.
small scale and kind of understated
Yes.
at the same time. It was, I don't know,
Like,
masterful. It was
yeah,
just masterful.
Yeah, Thomas and I were having a whole conversation about just how visceral that violence in its minimalism feels. I mean, you can. It's almost like you feel every
think-
emotion, and it's just.
I think that's helped by it not being over the top.
Yes, it is. It's very, for a kind of the sci-fi horror that it is, kind of both of those terms in brackets. Its horror, its gore is very grounded and very kind of visceral and very personal. I think my favorite sequence in the movie is the kind of beep test that they do where she is getting reset and it's flashing red and flashing back and flashing
Yes.
red and flashing back, and Colin is creeping closer and closer to Voss on the bed and starts choking her and then crushes her skull and wears her face as a mask and goes through all of the memories of her, and you're just like, oh my god, this movie's fucking incredible.
Yep.
I can't believe I have to go watch it again now.
Yeah, you
I'm so
do.
upset.
Yeah,
And the
You do, because it's so good.
Mhm.
And again, I'm just really this is another Ari Aster situation where it's like, oh, what's your first movie? Excuse me?
Mhm.
Fuck the rest
Well,
of us, I guess.
let me put it
Well,
this way:
I mean-
we've got a trio now. We've got Ari Aster, Brandon Cronenberg, and I'll get his name now again. It's Keith something who directed The Vigil, also his first film, his debut full-length film.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to speak about ridiculous debut films like that really haven't been followed up at all,
Keith Thomas.
you've got Keith Thomas. You've got Michael O'Shea, the guy who did The Transfiguration.
Oh, Transfiguration. Oh my god. That movie is so important for so many different reasons. Whew. I'm so glad that I made you watch that, Jason.
I am very glad that you did.
So, yeah,
All right,
that-
Fusness.
that's our top
That's
10.
our
Like,
top 10. Well, our 18 top 10 movies.
18
2020.
top 10.
Hooray!
And my recommendation is The Transfiguration.
My recommendation is the movie that's not on this list.
Ayo. Subverted expectation. Click.
Whew, I'm putting a red circle on the thumbnail.
Oh no!
Oh no.
and an arrow. There has to be an arrow as well.
And like a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
Fusness.
3.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
So watch all of these films on our top 10. If you have missed any of them, watch the ones you've missed. That's my recommendation.
Thanks, the top tip, Marcus.
I stopped
amazing.
recording like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So now
hey,
it's,
you know
if we
that-
have to use this audio, it's just going to be Thomas cut out for no reason.
Well, no, because I'm forgetting it from Craig. So Goodbye, Business. Piss off, and we'll see you again soon.